In the year 642, at a place called Nihawand, the Rashidun Caliphate and the Sassanid Empire of Persia fought their last great battle. History remembers it as the Victory of Victories, because after this, Persia never again had the strength to seriously resist. This is the story of how one ancient empire's final stand ended in total collapse. Strategic objectives. By this point, Persia had already lost its capital, Ctesiphon, and the whole of Iraq. Emperor Yazdegerd III had fled deeper into Persian territory. But this wasn't a man giving up. It was a man gathering everything he had left. Persian pride was on the line, and there was a real belief that the Muslims would never stop until the entire empire was theirs. So Yazdegerd made one final push: mass every soldier he could find and stop the advance for good. That final push took shape as an army of 60,000 men, gathering at Nihawand. Word reached the governor of Kufa, who immediately alerted Caliph Umar in Medina. Umar didn't wait to see what Persia would do with that army. He ordered a preemptive strike before it could grow any larger or move against the Muslim territories first. Commanders of the Crescent. 4 men led the Muslim side into this fight. Nu'man ibn Muqarrin held overall command. Hudayfa bin al-Yaman commanded the right wing, and Nu'aym, Nu'man's own brother, commanded the left. And held back in reserve, ready to be unleashed at exactly the right moment, was al-Kaka bin Amr and the cavalry, commander of the empire. Facing them was a single Persian commander, Mardin Shah, known by the nickname Zul-Hajib, the man with the eyebrows. He carried the weight of Persia's very last great army, and he chose to fight from strength, dug into a fortified position on high ground. And that high ground was a real problem. Nihawand sits in hill country near Hamadan, and the Persians held the elevation. To reach them, the Muslims would have to attack uphill, across a valley, over a wadi, a dry streambed, that separated the two camps. On paper, every geographic advantage belonged to Persia. Mardin Shah didn't rely on terrain alone. He arranged his army in an L shape, backs and flanks shielded by the mountains and the Brown Ridge, nearly unapproachable from behind. Then, between his front line and that wadi, he sewed a belt of iron caltrops, sharp, 4-pointed spikes that would cripple any horse or foot soldier that crossed them, functioning almost exactly like a medieval minefield. And behind that, his own infantry were chained together in groups of 10. A literal oath of death, making retreat physically impossible. For 2 full days, the Muslims tried the direct approach, attacking straight into that fortified position. And for 2 full days, it failed. The terrain did exactly what it was meant to do. Casualties mounted, and not 1 inch of ground changed hands. After 2 days of losses, Nu'man called his commanders together. This is the turning point of the whole battle. Tulayha proposed something bold, a deliberate, fake withdrawal designed to pull the Persians out of the one position that was actually working for them. Amr bin Mahdi Karib added a second layer, spread a rumor that Caliph Umar himself had died, to make the retreat look even more convincing, like a Muslim army in genuine collapse. Here's how the deception actually played out. First, the Muslims staged a retreat, convincing enough that real gaps opened in their line. Second, Mardin Shah took the bait completely, ordering his army forward to finish off what looked like a broken enemy. Third, and this is the critical move, that pursuit meant marching his own men straight across the Caltrip belt and the wadi they'd spent days hiding behind. With the Persian army now fully exposed on open ground at noon, Nu'man gave the order: full attack everywhere at once. But in the middle of that charge, Nu'man bin Muqarrin was struck by an arrow and killed. In any other battle, that alone could have broken an army's morale completely. It didn't. Nu'aym, his own brother, immediately covered Nu'man's body so the men wouldn't see their commander had fallen, and kept the army's standard raised without a single pause. The attack never lost momentum. Most of the army fighting that day never even knew, until much later, that they'd already lost their commander-in-chief. With morale unbroken, the Muslim assault kept building. A fast, direct counterattack hit the Persian center from the front, and at the same time, Al-Qaqqa's cavalry, held in reserve for exactly this moment, swept around and outflanked them. Caught between the two, the Persian lines didn't just bend, they shattered. Then came the retreat, and it turned into a disaster of Persia's own making. In the panic at night, the fleeing army forgot exactly where they themselves had planted those iron caltrops. Their own horses were lamed. Their own infantry were hindered. The very trap built to stop the Muslims ended up crippling the Persians instead. And the retreat had one more horror waiting. Fleeing in the dark, thousands of Persian soldiers ran straight into a deep ravine they never saw coming. Their cries as they fell, "Why, Kurd? Oh, I am finished," are the reason that ravine still carries that name today. It's one of the single deadliest moments of the entire battle, the reckoning. When it was over, roughly 30,000 Persians had been killed. This wasn't just a lost battle. It permanently placed the Zagros Mountains under Muslim rule and effectively ended the Sassanid dynasty's ability to mount any serious resistance ever again. So why did it end this way? On the Muslim side, strategic intelligence and a feigned withdrawal, executed almost perfectly, that completely erased Persia's terrain and obstacle advantage. On the Persian side, the fatal decision to abandon a genuinely superior defensive position to chase what looked like an easy kill, and the very tools built to guarantee their discipline, the caltrops and the chains, became the instruments of their own destruction in retreat. Nihawand earned its name, the Victory of Victories, because after this day, there was no path left for Persia to reverse it. Thank you for tuning in to Time Capsule. Riz, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what historic battle we should unlock